Welcome to the first 2020 edition of Mainly Motorsports. I'm your host, Steve Perry. Still flying solo, but we're hearing from people loved the Garage Talk segment we did with Greg Peters. So we got a couple others already lined up for after the Northeast Motorsports Expo, which this also is the last show before the Northeast Motorsports Expo. So get ready to kick off your 2020 race season next weekend over at Augusta. We're really excited. I have never in the, I took over in the 21st annual, so this is the 32nd, so what's this, 11 years, 12 years, lost count. But this is by far the most excitement and the most interest I've had in the show, or for the show, from tracks, tours, vendors, exhibitors, since I've taken over from Tim Tire. Just absolutely tracks that usually bring a couple cars and struggle to get them, or are bringing a full display, 5 or 6 cars. Vendors, we've had to turn vendors away as we filled up. So, hopefully people will listen next year when I tell them, get your stuff in soon as you get it out, because the people that are there this year, they get the first opportunity to come back. And for the most part, most of them do, but you never know. Somebody just drags their feet, and there were some people that dragged their feet this year. So space got cut, and man, we're really excited. You got to go to the Northeast Motorsports Expo site. Here's the promotional posters. You'll see no matter what part of the state you are, they'll be hanging out in some of your local convenience stores, encouraging people. I encourage you, once you see this, is share it on social media, share it on your Instagram, your Facebook, and all that, and encourage people to come up and support the people that support short track racing, support drag racing, support rock climbing, support it all, go-karts. It's all going to be there right under one roof at the Augusta Civic Center next weekend, January 10th, 11th, and 12th. Different things going on, different days. There's always guys setting up camp, signing autographs. We have guys that are, Sean Waddell, the spotter seminar this year on Saturday. Very lot of information, not only on the spotting side of things, but a lot of information on the equipment that you use to spot and how to do it properly. So really excited about that. Really excited about the awards as we give those out on Friday night. And not only the Best Appearing Awards, which sounds like it's going to be a battle this year. Some people have really gone all out on their displays. So, some of that. But then the Driver of the Year Awards. We give out the clock plaques. The 2020 Award of Excellence. The Steve Purvis Memorial Pit Crew Award, which is an award that's very dear to my heart, as Steve was one of my best friends that passed away a few years ago. And for the last 10 or 12 years that I raced, no matter what I did, whether it was a one-off deal with Brad Layton or Kyle Busch, or if it was a full season with Mike Rowe or any of it, Steve was involved and played a major role in it right up to the end. So miss him dearly, miss him every day. Really at the shows is when it really kicks in that he's not around, because he'd always come up, help out, do what he could do, but if nothing else, just support us. So we established this award a couple of years ago, the year after he passed, and 3 fitting winners of the award, Steve and Annette Tapley, the inaugural winners, Papa Joe King, Tyler King's grandfather, Scott King's dad, and then last year's winner, Chummy Brown. I mean, there's nobody that's done any more to help people throughout the years than Chummy Brown, and very deserving. Who will be the 2020 recipient? Can't wait. Has put a lot of thought into it, heard from some people, but very deserving crew member for 2020. So really excited. I encourage you to go to the northeastmotorsportsexpo.net website, see all the vendors that are going to be on display, the sponsors, EJP, such a huge role in making this happen. Adam and the boys always put a great display on. Going to miss the 59 car not being in that display. The Quirk Group stepped up even more this year, involved with the raffling off of the 602 crate motor, and who can forget what Dodo did last year after winning that at the Portland show. So thank you to the Quirk Group. Thank you to all the supporters and sponsors that are a part of this event. And we got another great show. Reaching back into the archives again. Some special things that mean a lot to me over the years that you forget how fortunate you've been here on Mainly Motorsports. Some of the people I've met, some of the things I've been able to do, some of the just some of the stuff, you know. And we're going to highlight more of it this week. And we're going to take a break. We come back. I want to show you the interview that made me realize, and I don't think it was anything in the interview, but it made me realize that I got a pretty neat gig going. Yeah, it's not Nesson, it's not ESPN, it's not one of the big shows, but for little local short track racing and all we do, I got a pretty special gig, and it was this interview that I realized that I got it. So we'll take a break and we'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
I'm Melinda. My husband Steve and I operate E-Keys for Cars in Saco. E-Keys is family owned with over 20 years in the car key business. Need an extra key? We promise to provide the best quality at a good price. Walk-ins are always welcome with no appointment ever needed. You'll be in and out in minutes. And yes, E-Keys still handles emergencies. But why wait? E-Keys for Cars, Route 1 on the Auto Mile in Saco.
E-Keys for Cars.
Wiscasset Speedway is back, and we have the cure for your need for speed. Maine's biggest and fastest proudly presents 8 featured divisions, including Pro Stocks, late models, 4-cylinder Pro Stocks, modifieds, and more. Plus special features throughout the season, including the Nell Car Legends, the Wicked Good Vintage Racers, the NEMA Midgets, Enduros, and more. All this fun, all this excitement, all for just $5. Wiscasset Speedway, west on the road, Wiscasset. Online at Facebook and WiscassetSpeedway.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Wiscasset Speedway, Maine's biggest and fastest, with $5 admission every weekend and loads of family fun. Check us out at WiscassetSpeedway.com.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and I made reference to this interview that you're about to see was when I realized, and after doing Mainly Motorsports for, I don't know, a couple of years, maybe 3 years, that this was when I hit on something special. I was fortunate, and it had nothing to do with anything that was said in the interview. It was standing in Victory Lane, watching all the other reporters. Somebody would ask a question. They'd all be there with their little, whatever those things are called, get the answer. So most of the papers, most of the TV that night after the Oxford 250 all had a lot of the same things. But what it didn't have was the story behind the scenes. You know, it had the questions about the race, and you led this many laps, and you started here, and it's your first win, or it's your, you know, had all them. But it didn't have the questions about the history of the young man winning the race, the family support and all that. And it was at this interview, when I got all said and done, I said to myself, wow, I got a special gig. As I got to do mine on the set, sitting there with this young man, I didn't have to stand out in Victory Lane, be rushed by, you know, other media members and, you know, trying to get other stuff going as they go up and do the traditional press conference. I just let them all do their thing, walked out in the pits. We were all set up, waited for everybody to clear tech. And as it happens now, and it happened this year, and it'll happen next year, these guys come and sit on the set of Mainly Motorsports and talk with us. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is. This interview right here was when I realized I love what I do here at Mainly Motorsports. And it's because of not being rushed and not having to ask the cookie cutter questions. So enjoy this interview back from 2012, the winner of the Oxford 250. Joey, you just won the TD Bank 250. on the year that you didn't come in, we talked earlier in the show, you didn't come in as that guy that people were talking about. And here you are with a big check, the big trophy, and the big happy crew.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. I mean, we've come into this race, as a favorite before, and you just put so much more pressure on yourself. It's human nature. It's not that you try to. It's just when everybody picks you, you kind of just, you got to try to put all that pressure on your shoulders, and we didn't have that. We didn't have to carry that on our shoulders into the race this weekend, and we just focused so hard on making our car drive in the track and not get that wheel spin off the corner. And we didn't do a lot of practicing yesterday. We just made sure we kept up with the track, and everything just played out perfectly tonight.
And it's funny, the last segment we had Jeff Taylor on, finishing runner-up, and I asked him, where was Joey better than you? And you just said it. You didn't have no wheel spin up off the corner, and he wiggled. And that was just enough that he wasn't able to ever get to you.
Yeah, it's huge here. I mean, this track's basically a circle. I mean, you always got input into the wheel. So if your rear end's kicking out on you, you're losing time. You're losing a lot of speed. So I mean, early on in the race, I tried to lay down a fast pace and lap as many cars as I could to try to take some guys out of the race. And I went a little too hard and burnt the stuff up, and I really started fading there at the end. So we put those new tires on there, and we lost some spots on pit road, but the car was perfect after that pit stop, and I just kept trying to talk to myself in my head, just go easy on the throttle, pretend it was an eggshell, which is what you got to do here, because if you spin the tires at all, you're just taking away the good rubber off of it, and that was my main goal, not to spin the tires.
Yeah, and then you did. You faded about lap 115 to 120.
Yep.
Caution came out in a timely manner. You pitted, and then you came out in 12th, and I'm like, wow. I don't know if he's, now we'll find out how good that car is.
Yeah.
And you didn't take long to blast up through there and get that lead back. I mean, this is one of those years where there was a dominating performance.
Yeah, I mean, it still hasn't really sunk in yet. I mean, I've been coming to this race, this is as big as it gets for short track racing. I mean, this is, the country knows about this race. I mean, Kyle Busch won this race last year. It's not an easy race to win by any means, and we've come close in 08, but we've struggled here the past couple of years, and we really focused hard. We've had a good year so far this year. Haven't quite been able to win yet, but it all changed tonight, and it couldn't have been a bigger race to change.
Well, there's that little town in Hudson, New Hampshire that's got the Dion family.
Yep.
Dave Dion, 3-time winner. Now they can add your name to a winner of this race. It has, like you said, it has a huge history.
Yeah.
I mean, think of the guys that have won it. Dion 3 times, Nason, Rowe, Eddie McDonald, Junior Hanley, Butch Lindley. But let's think of the guys like Jeff, Dale Shaw, Robbie Crouch that never won this race.
It's amazing to think that. That's what I've been saying a lot tonight, is just people try their whole life just to make this race. And then, guys like Jeff, who a 9-time champion here, who have tried to win this race for, he won't like to hear it, but probably before I was born.
Yeah.
And it's just, I couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, we just, no one can do this without a good team, and our team just never stopped working and put a great car underneath me. And I just did all I could as a driver to win this, and it really hasn't sunk in yet.
It will eventually, yeah. And when you wake up tomorrow, you'll pinch yourself. But talk about your team. I mean, your parents have put so much into you. Young Joey, the racer. They've given you the opportunities on the K&N side, put you into some rides. We thought things were going to work out there. They've just given you so much. So how big of a deal is it to give this back to them?
It's huge. My whole life I'll never be able to repay them for what they've done for me. Just as growing up as a kid and just having the opportunity to drive these cars. We've tried to take that next step and go into the K&N series, but anyone that is involved in racing knows that it takes a lot of sponsorship. I mean, it's not, the best driver doesn't necessarily make it to the top. I mean, it's just nature of the sport. And we've tried. We've had a few good efforts with the K&N car, but it gets expensive, and we do what we can do, and we put forth 100% on these ACT cars, and we run a few pass races every now and then. But we're just firing on all 8 cylinders right now. We've got the best team we've ever had. from Nick, our tire guy, to Jake, you know, pretty much our right-hand man, to Doug. I mean, it's just, I couldn't, you know, life is good right now.
Yeah, life is really good.
I just
engaged to
yeah.
Austin's sister. So how bittersweet is it for the Terrio family, you know, to have the future son-in-law in first, and Austin, bittersweet, third place finish. You know, he had a good car, and, you know, I'm sure you know it's a good thing maybe it wasn't another 20 laps.
It's a very good thing. Well, I don't, because I turned my mirror, so I couldn't see anything behind me there those last 10 laps.
No, and what goes through a young man's heart and head when you know you're 10 laps away from the biggest thing in New England, other than winning a race at Loudon? But you know what? Other than winning the Cup race at Loudon, I don't think there is anything bigger than winning this race.
There really isn't. I mean, ask Kyle Busch that. He'll tell you first off that this is huge. I mean, he wanted to win this thing bad, but all that was going through my head was 10, 9, 8, 7. I was just counting it down in my head, but still trying to tell myself, you know, don't spin the tires, don't spin the tires. And like I said, I turned my mirror so I couldn't see Jeff. I knew he was there, and I knew early on that he was probably saving his stuff, but I just tried to focus on hitting my marks perfectly every time, and then I saw the checkered flags, and it's just, I still can't believe it.
Obviously some sponsors, you know, I mean, that really make this possible.
Definitely. I mean, obviously Poles Automotive, you know, our family business, but nhprecision.com, Hedman Hustler Headers, definitely Ford for being there for us, rivetislet.com, Edison Manufacturing, Dave Co. Development. I mean, sponsors are what keeps us going. You know, it's so important in this sport, and it's we're very lucky to have some good sponsors.
Yeah, so from all of us at Mainely Motorsports, we want to congratulate you, Joey.
Thank you.
And you're going to wake up tomorrow calling yourself the TD Bank 250 winner, and I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest feelings you're going to experience until you see Brittany coming down the aisle. All right? Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
And that's your winner for the 39th annual TD Bank 250, young Joey Pohl, right out of Hudson, New Hampshire. And I'm sure down in Florida, the man Dave Dion is like, bittersweet. You know, now it's not only me and Hudson, but now it's put Hudson back on the map. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back to wrap up this edition of Mainly Motorsports right here from the TD Bank 250.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. I don't think we've seen that cat win his last Oxford 250. He's a threat each and every year, but really, I think back to that interview continuously on standing on the front stretch and how that made me feel watching the others and knowing where I was going to be in 20 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes from there. So great time, great kid. Got to know Joey even more since then. So great family and many more wins in that cat's future. But Augusta Show, Northeast Motorsports Expo, lots to see, lots to do, tracks, tours, Crazy Horse with a display promoting their new Port City brand, Davis Chassis Works, you know, coming out promoting his cars. Jeremy does a great job. Going to have some stuff on display. You know, the Sunoco Group, who can forget what those guys have done over the years for not only the Northeast Motorsports Expo, but short track racing all over New England. the major gas supplier, race fuel supplier for many of the tracks and tours that we all love and follow. I mean, John Holland, the entire family, the entire group over there, great people, and you know, they're always on a display and a huge supporter. Mentioned Sean Waddell earlier. Bring your radio stuff up. Get them tuned up. Get them sent back with him. He brings them back to Portland, or he'll ship them up to you. Get you ready for the 2020 season, which is just around the corner. And exciting to see the drivers, talk to some promoters, talk to some drivers, talk to some car owners, talk to some crew members, talk to some race fans. Walk around and see the different race fans. And I'm hearing some guys are really putting a little bit extra effort into the displays. And I compare these shows to the movie Mannequin back when we were all younger. Not all of us, but most of us. You know, how they used to make the window displays. People would stop and look and spend time at it. And that's what I ask everybody to do. If you're at your booth and you engage a fan in a conversation, and you engage another fan in a conversation, and somebody else does, and they get to a booth and they stop and look at cars, and next thing you know, that trip to the Northeast Motorsports Expo that's usually an hour and a half, it's 2.5 hours, 3 hours long. And as people start overlapping, the crowd looks bigger, the crowd is bigger, and just makes it be the place that everybody wants to be to kick off their 2020 race season. So really excited about it. NortheastMotorsportsExpo.net is where you can find out who's coming, up-to-date information. We'll keep updating it as we get closer, and make your plans. Go all 3 days. The hotels, the Comfort Inn, the Best Western, discounted room rates. A lot of people I know go up, even if they don't have a car in the show. They spend all weekend there, do a little shopping, do a little eating, do a little drinking, come over to the show each day, spend some time in the morning, come back later in the afternoon. So we're really excited. Just $10. So look forward to seeing you there. Take a break, come back, go back in the archives again. We'll open up the vault. No money in it, but we'll open up the vault. And now the segment I really enjoyed.
Wiscasset Speedway is back, and we have the cure for your need for speed. Maine's biggest and fastest proudly presents 8 featured divisions, including Pro Stocks, late models, 4-cylinder Pro Stocks, modifieds, and more. Plus special features throughout the season, including the Nell Car Legends, the Wicked Good Vintage Racers, the NEMA Midgets, Enduros, and more. All this fun, all this excitement, all for just $5. Wiscasset Speedway, west on the road, Wiscasset. Online.
You don't have to wait until the end of camping season to get your best price. Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation.
We're starting our end of season sale now. We have over 300 campers in stock, and every unit is on sale. Even the 2020s, up to $16,000 off travel trailers, up to $30,000 off fifth wheels and motorhomes, up to $40,000 off toy haulers. Ask about our bi-weekly payment program to save you even more money.
Financing available, trades welcome.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
Our family has been in business since 1972. I'm Johnny Wolf. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. 21st Century Motors now offers low-rate credit union financing and first-time buyer programs. We have a large selection of vehicles starting at $49.90. Quality vehicles and guaranteed repairs. Come see why more than 50% of our business is repeat or referral. Visit us today on Route 25 in Gorham, Maine, or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
From our family to your family.
Mainely Motorsports, brought to you by
Scott's Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scott's Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations, and online at scottsrecreation.com.
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
Well, as you guys all know, I brought back the Mainly Motorsports TV 400 last year at Richmond. Not the race that we'd become accustomed to, just because karting has changed as far as kart counts, and it's always hard to bring something back. But we were still pleased with what we were able to do up there at Willie and Jen's facility at Richmond Karting Speedway. But back when I started it in 2010 and 11, man, it was growing. Car counts were huge, and these kids now that were winning races then, winning races in super late models. Just, it's crazy. But I was going through some old shows and got looking, and really had a good time talking back in this one. And some of these guys will have cars on display up there at the Northeast Motorsports Expo this weekend, and They're little kids racing karts and kicking the ball around and swinging on the swing set. Now look at them. So just enjoy this. We're showing some highlights of, and it's funny, it's not even highlights of this year's. We're promoting this year's, at the time, 2012 show, but we're showing highlights of 2011. And really a great time. And enjoy some of these highlights, some of the photos, some of the talk. Me and Greg talking about it. Kind of funny to see. Young man will have car and cart on display, a Bandolero. First ever Mainly Motorsports race he went. TJ Moon, he won a car seat donated by, I can't remember who it was donated by. Wow. But it was a nice looking, I think it was a Simpson car seat. And his parents, everybody eligible had a child up there, and he won it. So there's a little picture of him in it. And now we're going to be pictures of him in go-karts and bandoleros. So enjoy this piece from the archives here on Mainly Motorsports. Well, this weekend.
What's going on this weekend? What's coming up? Anything good?
The go-kart event of the year at Richmond Karting Speedway.
The one they all talk about?
Started it 3 years ago, just wanted to do it and try to give something back to the kids.
Right.
We brought 83 karts in. Give out some big trophies, some big prizes.
Now, do you do a pre-registration thing too?
No, and I should have, you know what I mean? But by the time I got the forms ready this week, it's too late to pre-register.
You? Lollygagging?
Lollygagging. Spanky nicknamed me LMS, Last Minute Steve. So,
no.
But no, we got the forms ready, and but there's some people coming.
Yep.
I don't know what we could expect. 40 cars, 50 cars. I don't know, but people look forward to this race. It's the real deal. What I like about it, each year we're starting to see more from the racing community show up, not only to participate, but to spectate.
Right, yeah.
And we talk about these younger kids, champions.
They come out of them.
That's where they come from.
Are you paying Big Rob off for something? Because he's been promoting the hell out of your go-kart race on his Facebook page.
You know what I mean? People want to, he wants people to come, and that's what it's all about. And I'll tell you, it's like playing Little League. When I'm standing out there in left field, I want to look and see a lot of people.
And
it ain't no different in a go-kart. If I come off,
it is a big event, so why wouldn't you want a big crowd there?
Jay Cushman is a guy that's been around racing a long time. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Jay, you either like him or you don't like him, but you got to do something with him.
Right.
If you know him, you either like him or you don't like him. But you got to respect what he has to say, because he's been around the sport forever.
A long time, right?
And he told me that he treats this with his son Austin as like the Oxford 250 was to him. This is that big of a deal.
Had his super late models.
With the crowd, the people, the prestige, the awards, and that.
The 6-foot tall trophies.
Yeah, the trophies are unheard of. And then we give away contingency prizes. The little things that I do.
Pays pretty good to win, too.
Yeah, we'll get on that. Where else are you going to go race other than Beach Ridge do you take your checkered flag home?
Right.
Right?
Nowhere.
But this is even one better than that. I shouldn't say one better than that. I give the kids the same Sunoco checkered flag that the Cup guys win.
Right.
That they all stop underneath the flag stand to get so they can do their Smoky Donut show. Right? That's what they get. The kid wins, he stops, we throw it down, he takes it around, poses with his picture, we take the trophy back because we do them after, tech and everything. But he gets his flag. Nobody does that. You get a hoodie that says you're a Mainly Motorsports TV 400 winner. You don't buy them, you don't give them away. You are going home. There's only 10 of them that I'm giving away that day, and you got one of them. And I remember the first year my kid won in that race, and we were doing something over the winter, a go-kart race or a show or something, and she came up to me and she was pretty tickled that only her and DJ Shaw, of everybody in the place, had the same hoodie on. You know what I mean? There was nobody else that could get him. He was a winner, she was a winner.
Right.
So we get a lot of support, and I couldn't do it without myself. I've been fortunate enough to get sponsors that believe in the product.
Right, yep.
Lee from Four Seasons Synthetic, Sean Moody, they've been on board for 3 years. Billy Penfold on board for 3 years. The Fernald family up there in Auburn, they've been on for, a couple of years. Dairy Queen, I love Dairy Queen, you can obviously tell. They've been on board. Bob Patton, Where's GMC, Cookson's Collision Center, Auto Paint Supply. this year, Joe Maines, who's a champion crew chief for Donnie Morse.
Right.
Now he's on board.
Selling Snap-on.
Selling Snap-on. You know what I mean? You know, Hawkeye Refrigeration. Guy races. Said, wow, I want to get involved. I want to help out. What can I do? You know what I mean? So these are the people that step up. You know, and I'm going to tell you a neat story. A kid that used to race, and probably not a lot of people from this area know him. His name's Steven Morcello. I called him the fourth Jonas brother because he had that Jonas brother look. Good-looking kid. That's what I used to call him, the fourth Jonas brother. Couldn't sing a lick, but him and his dad come up. The first year I did it, supported it. They weren't overabundance with money. They showed up in their minivan, little trailer. They work. Every year they got problems. Something falls off. He's out there trying to work the throttle with his hand. But he supported the event. Last year, we gave out some hard luck awards. He struggled, dropped out of the race early. You know, he spent a lot of money to come do it the weekend, and
right.
So he got a hard luck award. He stayed right there. Didn't know he was getting anything, but he did what you should do, just like a dance recital or anything. It ain't just about your kid. It's about every person there. It's like going to a car race,
right.
Okay? You know, like tonight. I mean, I know old people got to go home or whatever, you know, if you go to the races, but it's about everybody. It's not just about your kid, and this family gets that. So he sends me a message this week. Can't come up and compete. He's in college in North Carolina, but wants to send me his entry fee and wants to split it up and wants to give 2 hard charger awards for 2 top divisions that he would run for $25 cash prize, and he wants to give a $50 cash prize to the hard luck award winner in the class that he ran and won last year,
right.
Because he knows how much. I mean, that's a kid that's going to college but sees the value in what I'm trying to do,
right.
And wants to give something back. So we have other families that have stepped up, sponsoring the pole awards, sponsoring sportsmanship awards. I mean, there's just so much that we try to do up there, you know.
Yeah.
And it is to see these kids, you know.
It's an event. The whole thing's an event, you know.
You know, I got a call from a kid the other day. This is a father. Says to me, Steve, this isn't me talking. This is my 4-year-old. Because he's been to the race and seen it. He's making his debut this year, driving the Mainely Motorsports number 7, Owen Kafel. Okay? Making his debut at that race in a little kid's car. You know what he asked his father? Dad, you think Big Steve's going to put me on the front stretch and park my car sideways and say my name and introduce me like he does the other ones? That's what we do for every single class, whether it's the 4-year-old kid or the 54-year-old man making a start. We do driver introductions the way it should be for a big
right.
race. But we treat every class as that big race.
Right.
So the 5 or 10 minutes that adds to the program over 2 days each time, well worth it to see that little kid hear his name over the loudspeaker and the grandparents and the parents all excited, and then, you know, it's a big deal.
Yep.
And
it is.
And that's what we try. We want good racing. And I told the guys the first year, you give me good racing, we'll grow this together. I can't do it without you guys. You guys got to give me the racing, and I'll make it happen. I'm not saying you guys can't do it without me, but you won't find anybody that's more creative and think outside the box and try to make stuff happen. And it's showing. Year 3, $1,250 to win the 2 money races. Win them both, $750 bonus. $3,250 somebody's racing for this weekend. When I say somebody, there'll probably be 7 or 8 of them going for the double.
They'll all be wanting to go for it, but after that first race, there's only going to be one guy that's going to have a shot at it.
If that guy is racing the second race.
Right.
Last year, the guy
right.
that won the first race wasn't in the second race, so I knew my money was safe.
So you wiped your brow.
But I don't care. I'll pay it. That's what I want to, because you know what? That gets the people excited. People
right.
say, he paid $3,250. We're coming next year. Because
right.
next year I might pay $4,000.
Right.
I'll keep going. They give me good racing.
You know, the thing I like about go-kart racing right now is you kind of touched on it talking about Jay Cushman. I mean, his son, Austin Terrace. What are the other names? You got other names.
The Rose.
Yeah.
The next generation of Rose. We talked about 2 third-generation drivers winning championships last week at Beach Ridge.
Right.
The Rose. We're seeing that next generation of Clarks, Johnny's nephews.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're seeing Brandon Barker will be there racing.
Tyler
DJ
King.
Shaw. Tyler King's coming. I mean, we're bringing some racers.
Right.
This is, if you've never seen a go-kart race and you say, I want to check it out, cost you to get in. It ain't free. This ain't Fun Town. You ain't leaning through the fence. You know what I mean? You're going to come out and...
Fun Town ain't free anymore.
No, that's right. But Sunday's the day to go. 2 days of racing, Sunday is the day to go. That's when all the heavy hitters are there. That's when we're racing for the big money, and that's when you'll see some good racing. And I will guarantee you'll see good racing because I don't take it. I want good racing. You know, I don't need the 9th place guy turning the 8th place guy with 3 laps to go because he thinks he needs to be 8th because it's going to irritate me. The last thing you want to do is irritate me, right? Because chances are I'm on an empty stomach.
You can make you ugly that way. You can make you ugly that way, or you can, take your snow cone away or your hot dog, or whatever.
Because I will be on an empty stomach. I will be tired. So, but it'll be a good time. And that's the neat thing for me now. I start seeing the racing crowd up there.
See, this is what's hot about this is Steve is so involved that he's just jacked right up about the whole thing.
Really?
I'm just gonna make it real simple for you. Get down to the Mainely Motorsports TV 400 go-kart event Saturday and Sunday. Saturday as all the qualifying and
Qualifying
stuff?
and some features, but
Sunday is the main day.
Is the big. We're qualifying the big classes on Sunday too. So we're having heat races, consies, B feature. So yeah, it's gonna.
Sunday's the main day.
Yeah, if you can only go one day, go Sunday.
And you're gonna see some go-kart races.
That's right. Ooh, baby.
So I had to cut Steve off at the pass because he was stammering. He's all jacked up. He can't wait to spend his money on go-kart races.
Trust me.
We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we got some stuff to talk about when we close up. Another one done.
Another one done. All right, Greg, you took over. I like that in you. See the new side of you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's coworker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Servicing differentials is virtually impossible. The confined space makes fill holes difficult to reach, and industry-standard conical bottles are rigid and hard to squeeze. That combination makes for a messy job. Plus, you can't get all of the gear lube out of the bottle, so you have to buy more than you need to complete the job. And engineering your own solution only results in disaster. Not anymore. Introducing the new AMSOIL Easy Pack. Easily access hard-to-service differentials. Easily squeeze out all of the contents. And easily stay clean while you do it. No more leftover fluid or inconvenient rigid bottles. No more trouble reaching difficult fill holes. No more mess. AMSOIL Severe Gear in the new Easy Pack. The solution to all your problems.
Another first from AMSOIL. For a stocking dealer nearest you, call toll-free 877-761-8375 or visit fourseasonsynthetic.com.
Welcome back to Mainely Motorsports. Like I said, if you listen to that closely and listen to some of the names we talked about, they'll be at the show this weekend walking around preparing for their 2020 season in big cars. Or they'll be standing there with the car displaying it at the show. So it's just crazy how this sport works and how these kids grow up so fast. And I've been fortunate enough to get to know a lot of them, their families, and watch them prosper and make their way into great short track racers. So Northeast Motorsports Expo coming up this weekend, not this weekend that you're watching, next weekend. Make your plans, bring your friends. The awards on Friday night, some stuff on Saturday, the spotter seminar, some other things in the works. It's a great time to be had by all. And like I said, I feel fortunate. Every week I tape an episode of Mainly Motorsports. The people I've met, the people I've got to know, and the racing I've got to see, and the behind the scenes that I've got to meet the track owners and promoters. A lot of great people, and a lot of them will be right up there at the Northeast Motorsports Expo. So go to northeastmotorsportsexpo.net for up-to-date information. So we'll take a break. We'll go back in the archives for something else. It's one of my claim to fames. I tell everybody all the time, I saw something happen. All right? So we'll take a break. Be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
We know Maine is hard on cars, so when your ignition won't turn or you lose your key, that just adds insult to injury. Why tow it? E-Keys for Cars technicians will solve your problem in your dooryard or at the mall and get you back on the road. AAA member? You should be. Your AAA locksmith coverage comes right off the bill. E-Keys for Cars, Maine's fast, affordable solution to your car key and lock problems. On the Auto Mile, Route 1, Saco.
E-Keys for Cars.
Our family has been in business since 1972. I'm Johnny Wolf. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. 21st Century Motors now offers low-rate credit union financing and first-time buyer programs. We have a large selection of vehicles starting at $49.90. Quality vehicles and guaranteed repairs. Come see why more than 50% of our business is repeat or referral. Visit us today on Route 25 in Gorham, Maine, or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
From our family to your family.
You don't have to wait until the end of camping season to get your best price. Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. We're starting our end of season sale now. We have over 300 campers in stock and every unit is on sale, even the 2020s. Up to $16,000 off travel trailers, up to $30,000 off fifth wheels and motorhomes, up to $40,000 off toy haulers. Ask about our bi-weekly payment program to save you even more money. Financing available, trades welcome.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Four Seasons Synthetic. See them for all your AMSOIL product needs.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations. Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order a copy of this show, send a check or money order for $15, including shipping and handling to Mainly Motorsports, 2 Main Street, Suite 17-103, Biddeford, Maine, 04005. And please add the show number in the description of the show.
Well, one of the things, like I said, we always talk about is how fortunate we are, and see guys maybe before they've hit stardom, well on their way to stardom, or even meet guys, and I tell you this all the time. One of my highlights of my career with Mainly Motorsports was walking into Summerfest and having Mike Johnson and Rick Zemler, 2 guys I grew up watching do amazing things behind the wheel of a race car when I was sitting in the grandstands at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Both spoke to me as I was walking by them. Had no idea who they knew I was, and told me they really enjoy what we did here on the show. So, it's heroes come in all shapes and sizes, but when you get a chance to meet somebody and talk to them on their way up the ladder, that's pretty cool. And that happened to me back in 2012 when we made our first trek to the Snowball Derby, the race that put Eric Jones on the map. But another kid that was well on his way to stardom, had already had a win under his belt and came in there as one of the pre-race favorites, was Chase Elliott. So I got to interview both of those guys. Just kids on their way to stardom. And really enjoyed it, really enjoyed that time. It was the first Derby we went to. Me and Greg had a great time. But enjoy these, what Chase has to say. And if you listen to it, remember, he's a kid. Look where he is now. And if you talked to him back then, you knew he'd be where he is now, because very intelligent kid. All right, we just concluded the first round of practice here on Friday morning. We're here with the defending winner of this race, Chase Elliott. And how's your weekend looking so far, Chase?
It's going all right. We making gains, I feel like. So it's been obviously a a busy couple of days running both cars, but I think we're getting closer, and hopefully be where we need to be for Saturday night and Sunday.
Now, what is the difference between the two cars?
Just the motor. Obviously, a supercar has a lot more motor, and your crate car, not so much. So it's just the motor, and realistically, other than that, they're very similar. Pretty much the same car, minus what kind of motor you run. So you can definitely relate the two together. So that helps, I think, in a way. And you definitely set them up very similar.
Now, you're the only guy that's guaranteed a starting spot, being the most recent provision winner, right?
Well, no, there's some guys. Anybody that ran all the Blizzard Series races down here and are in the top 10 in points, they have a lock. They have a position as well. So it's not just us, but regardless, we hope we don't need that, and we get us a decent qualifying effort and a good place to start on Sunday.
Now, talk a little bit about this track and what it does and how it changes as the race goes on.
It won't change a lot. Not this weekend. This place stays pretty consistent for the most part. You come out here and run the Blizzard races. You run during the night, and for the most part, it stays. It hadn't changed a whole lot. You will fight a little bit as the sun goes down on Sunday afternoon. You'll probably fight the track tightening up a little bit, rolling to the center of the corner. But I'd say other than that, it'll be stay pretty consistent.
So how do you like your chances? Darrell Waltrip, Rich Bickle, Augie Grill, the only three guys that go back-to-back. Can Chase Elliott do it?
Absolutely. I know our team can do it. I think we definitely have a car capable of doing it, and you just definitely have to have things go your way, and hopefully we can just be around at the end of this thing, and be in position to give it a run for our money.
All right, Chase. Well, thank you for taking the time with us here on Mainely Motorsports, and good luck.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. All the way from Michigan. Now, quite a trek to get down here, but you call yourself one of the youngest winners of the Snowball Derby. We want to congratulate you, Eric Jones.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was a great race, and it played right into our favor all day, and we came out on top there.
Well, played into your favor. I mean, a restart with how many to go? 20 laps to go with Kyle Busch. How can you say that played into your favor?
Well, I mean, the strategy part. Let's go with that.
The strategy.
But, yeah. But, I mean, Kyle's tough. He's one of the best there is, and I look up to him as an idol. And racing him on a restart, he's one of the best there is at restarts especially. And to be able to race him that hard and that clean was a lot of fun. And it's really hard to put into words racing with him.
Well, exactly. And then, when you win, it's whether you play football or any sport or, race. When you beat them, you want to beat the best. And you did that today. You didn't hand it to you. Everybody would have said, well, if they had a restart with 10 to go or 20 to go. Well, everybody got what they wanted to see, and you did it. I mean, how nerve-wracking was that, though?
I try not to get too nervous in the car, and it started to get to me there because you start to realize, this is a Snowball Derby, the biggest late model race in the country, and you're racing Kyle Busch for the win. And, I mean, that'll get your nerves up a little bit. But, once the green flag dropped, I kind of settled down, got into a rhythm, and I knew what we needed to do, and we went out there and did it. And my spotter, Brandon Lyons, really helped me out with it. Crew chief, Rich Lucius, I mean, just amazing on the pit box, amazing calls all day, and made it happen.
Now, you're going back to school tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back to school here pretty quick. So, won the Snowball Derby, now we got to go back to school.
Yeah, now, about halfway through the race, we were listening on the scanner, listening to Kyle, talking to his team. He makes a statement. He's got 3 cars he's got to beat. You're one of them. Chiquette's the other one, and the 99 wreck. I mean, that even tells you how good he is when he knows halfway through the race who's got good cars.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. I mean, he's the best there is. And, racing with him like that, he knows. I mean, he's smart. He's done it for a long time now, and he knows how to run these long races. And, we knew kind of coming in that he was going to be fast. I mean, he's fast everywhere in these cars. And to be able to beat him toe-to-toe like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so congratulations to you, your family. I mean, it was cool to see you get out of your car. First, people you thank your mom and dad. People don't realize how much mom and dad's put into this, even whether it's on the financial end or the time, getting you to the racetracks and doing all the stuff. I mean, that's a big deal. So to be able to give back to them at such a young age, that's such a great feat.
Thank you.
All right, well, congratulations to 2012 winner of the Snowball Derby, Eric Jones. Like I say, every year I go to that race. Who's the next Eric? Who's the next Chase? I mean, like I said, pretty much Eric was an unknown. His car was down there, no sponsors on it. Obviously, there was some money somewhere to get him down there. But he was an unknown till he ended up beating the best in the business. And obviously, 2-time, current, Sprint Cup, Monster Energy, Winston Cup, call it whatever you want to call it, two-time champ, Kyle Busch. So when he did that back in 2012, I'm not saying he wouldn't ended up in Cup, because he might have anyway, but that opened some doors and escalated the ride to the top. And won't be long before he's sitting at the head table up there at the championship banquet at the end of the year for NASCAR, because the kid's got a whale of talent. He's in a team where, kind of playing fourth fiddle, behind Truex, Kyle, Denny Hamlin. He's the one everybody forgets. But he was in the chase, and not for a couple of unfortunate incidents, not only mechanical and tech-wise, he might have kept his way going through round for round for round. So, you often wonder, I know he just signed a new contract, but will he need to do what Joey Logano did and get away to find his own identity? I don't think so. I think the sport's changed on the NASCAR level, and these guys just, they don't hang around forever. The Darrell Waltrips, the Allisons, that's not going to happen. These guys like Earnhardt, Kyle Edwards, they get to the point where they can live comfortably the rest of their life. And there's so many other things that they can involve themselves in with the sport or in life in general. So he won't have all those high-dollar, high-end teammates forever. And before you know it, similar to Chase over there at Hendrick, he's going to be the senior statesman over there after Jimmy leaves this year. So really fortunate, got to interview those guys. Had some other ones with the following years, but those first ones, pretty special. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports up right here from Mainly Motorsports headquarters, or world headquarters, as Greg Peters likes to call his shop.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations, and online at scotchrecreation.com.
Servicing differentials is virtually impossible. The confined space makes fill holes difficult to reach, and industry-standard conical bottles are rigid and hard to squeeze. That combination makes for a messy job. Plus, you can't get all of the gear lube out of the bottle, so you have to buy more than you need to complete the job. And engineering your own solution only results in disaster. Not anymore. Introducing the new AMSOIL Easy Pack. Easily access hard-to-service differentials. Easily squeeze out all of the contents. And easily stay clean while you do it. No more leftover fluid or inconvenient rigid bottles. No more trouble reaching difficult fill holes. No more mess. AMSOIL Severe Gear in the new Easy Pack. The solution to all your problems.
Another first from AMSOIL. For a stocking dealer nearest you, call toll-free 877-761-8375 or visit fourseasonsynthetic.com.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. And if I haven't told you once, I've told you 100 times. Northeast Motorsports Expo coming up next weekend, the Augusta Civic Center, right off exit, depending on which way you're coming, but 112B in the parking lot. Check it out. Introduce yourself, bring some friends, and if you see me standing there or walking around, make sure you say hi. Make sure you tell me you love what we're doing here on Mainly Motorsports. Keeps us going. A lot of exciting things happen. The garage tour. We'll call it the garage tour. Nothing fancy. We don't got banners. We ain't got lights. We ain't got nothing. Just the garage tour over there. And we're going to do some more of that. We're going to go up and see Mike Harrison, the 2018 Super Street champion at Wiscasset Speedway. We're going to go catch up with the 2018 and 19 champion from Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, Joey Pastore. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. A lot of guys are reaching out to us now, so be a part of it. Invite us into your home. You don't have to take us into the home, take us into the shop. But we want to talk about your program. Talk about your little shop or your big shop, or just talk about what gets you to the racetrack each week, the people that support you, family, friends, sponsors. It's a big deal, and it's something different we want to do. So, like I said, we're excited about the Northeast Motorsports Expo. There'll be a lot of things happening up there. You don't want to miss it. It's the traditional kickoff to the 2020 race season right there. A lot of race cars under one roof. I don't know how many, 50, 60. There's going to be a lot of them. You know, go-karts, drag vehicles, vintage drag cars, drag sleds, a rock climbing truck, you know, a mud buggy. Just so many different things are going to be taking place there, and we're excited to be a part of it, and can't wait to can't wait. Honestly, just can't wait. I get excited every year, see some of my familiar faces. Some people, that's the only time I see them. You know, they're from up north, or they go to a racetrack, they're in the fans, I'm in the pits, you know, we're in the stands, I should say. So don't get a chance to catch up with everybody on a weekly basis. So really excited about it. The show, we'll be there selling some Mainly Motorsports apparel. Just northeastmotorsportsexpo.net is where you can get up-to-date information. Post stuff. Look for these posters out there, and if you see this and you think you can help out, you watch this on Friday, I can try to get some in the mail if you want to hang some. If you've got an area, you say, oh, we can put some out there, you know. A lot of people behind the scenes. Can't thank Louie and Brick enough. You know, obviously Debbie, you know, the people behind the scenes. Corey Creamer, who does the announcing, and, you know, the judges up there for the awards. This is a tough deal. You know, some nice looking race cars and race vehicles. So we're looking forward to it. Make sure you are too. Mark it on your calendar. January 10th, 11th, and 12th. Northeast Motorsports Expo right there in Augusta. Support the 99. Get your hotel room at the Comfort Inn or the Best Western. A lot of people behind the scenes make this thing happen. So hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Some guys we watch on Sunday, we got to hear from them at a very young age, 7 years ago. Wow. 7 years ago is quick. Those go-karters, 7 years ago. Now they got cars on display racing the big cars, you know. Just a lot of fun we have here on Mainly Motorsports, and can't thank everybody enough. So hope you enjoyed this week's episode. We'll see you in Augusta next week. We'll see you right here on Mainly Motorsports next week. It's showtime.